Mr. Speaker, on World Water Day, I rise on behalf of every American who lacks access to the most basic necessity of human survival. 4 years ago, 15,000 households in Newark, New Jersey were forced to rely on bottled water due to lead in the city's supply. As lead contamination levels approach record highs, residents of my state's largest city were forced to reckon with the reality that access to safe drinking water would not be and could not be taken for granted. I am grateful that Newark has since replaced nearly all of its lead pipes and that residents can once again trust that their tap water is safe to drink. In fact, had this emergency been unique to one city at one time, I probably would not have been compelled to speak here today. However, the year after Newark put an end to its emergency, infrastructure failures in Jackson, Mississippi cut off residents' access to safe water. Mississippi's capital city still lacks the resources to support residents in need. Let me be clear, this is not a Newark crisis or a Jackson crisis, or for that matter, even a Flint, Michigan crisis. It is an American crisis. It is due to climate change, outdated infrastructure, and systemic disinvestment in our most vulnerable communities. Millions of Americans risk losing access to water. As the wealthiest nation on earth, we have the resources, not to mention the moral imperative, to change that situation. Safe, clean water is a human right. If we continue to ignore the water crisis, communities across the country will face dire consequences for their healthy, safety, and well-being. I am introducing the Water Act because the time to act is now. In addressing water scarcity, we must realize our failing infrastructure, remove dangerous contaminants from our water supplies, and reinvest in the communities that have been hardest by the decades of privatization and austerity. The Water Act tackles these crises on all three fronts. My legislation will provide $35 billion annually to modernize our nation's water and sewer infrastructure. Cities like Newark are not outliers. Lead pipes are used in every single state. By overhauling our infrastructure, we can remove these dangerous components and eliminate the threat of lead contamination. My legislation would also clean up other contaminants as well, including PFAS, forever chemicals. New Jersey has some of the highest PFAS levels in the country, and Black, brown, and low-income communities suffer disproportionately from this contamination. Everyone, regardless of their race, their income, or their zip code, deserves reliable water access. That's why, in addition to cleaning up contamination, my legislation will provide grants to low-income communities to stop water shutoffs due to unaffordable bills. With these long overdue investments, we can prevent further water shortages, protect our current supply, and make emergencies like those in Flint, Jackson, and Newark a thing of the past. Water is the essence of human life, and as public servants, we must ensure that every family and every community has reliable access to it. And so I urge this chamber to take up the Water Act and pass it without delay. And with that, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield back.